What if I told you that your biggest winning streak was actually the moment your bankroll started to die? And if you are trying to build legitimate wealth in this market, is it better to be right 60% of the time and go broke, or be right 52% of the time and retire early? Most people come to this game thinking it's a battle of prediction. They think if they watch enough footage, they can see the future. They are wrong. This isn't a prediction game. It's a risk management game played in a chaotic environment. Welcome to Kalstrop. Today, we aren't just looking at picks. We are going to dismantle the mathematics of gambling and rebuild it into the mathematics of investing. To do that, we need to master three specific concepts: variance, the Kelly Criterion, and the Sharpe ratio. Let's start with the ghost in the machine, variance. Your brain is hardwired to find patterns. It's a survival mechanism. When you hit 3 bets in a row, your brain releases dopamine and tells you, "I have cracked the code." When you lose 3, it tells you, "I am unlucky." Both are lies. In our data labs, we run what we call Project Sigma. We simulate 10,000 artificial bettors using the exact same strategy. We call this a Monte Carlo simulation. In simulation 42, the bettor is up 50 units. He looks like a genius. In simulation 108, using the exact same bets, the bettor is down 40 units. He looks like a fool. The reality? Neither of them had an edge. They were just drifting on a random walk. And in a random walk, the only winner is the operator charging the vig. The house edge acts like gravity, slowly pulling every random walker down to 0. So, how do you know if you are actually skilled or just enjoying a temporary statistical anomaly? You need to understand a metric called N0. N0 is the number of bets required to statistically prove that your edge is real and not just noise. It is the measure of time. Here is the brutal truth. If you have a respectable 4% edge in the NFL markets, your N0 is roughly 528 bets. Think about that. 528 bets. For a selective sports bettor, that is not a weekend. That is 2 or 3 years. You could spend 3 years making good decisions and still lose money purely because of standard deviation. This is why most bettors fail. They don't lack knowledge. They lack the bankroll duration to survive their own N0. This brings us to the second pillar. If N0 tells us how long we must survive, how do we ensure we don't go bankrupt before we get there? Amateurs use systems like martingale, doubling down on losses. That is a suicide pact. Professionals use the Kelly Criterion. Developed by J.L. Kelly Jr. at Bell Labs, this formula calculates the mathematical limit of what you should wager to maximize growth while keeping your risk of ruin at 0. The formula is elegant but ruthless. It demands 2 inputs: the odds offered by the bookmaker and your true win probability. And this is where the volatility drag kills you. If you bet too much, over Kelly, a bad variance streak doesn't just hurt you, it destroys your ability to recover. A 50% loss requires a 100% gain just to break even. Kelly prevents this mathematical hole. But Kelly has a flaw. It is garbage in, garbage out. If you think you have a 60% chance of winning, but you really only have 52%, the Kelly formula will tell you to bet too much, and you will wipe out your account. You need a source of truth. Before we solve the truth problem, we must introduce the third concept, the one nobody talks about on social media, the Sharpe ratio. In finance, the Sharpe ratio measures your risk-adjusted return. 2 bettors can both make $10,000 in a year. Bettor A goes up and down wildly, sweating every game, almost going broke 3 times. Bettor B has a smooth, steady upward curve. Bettor B has a high Sharpe ratio. Bettor A is just lucky he didn't crash. High variance kills your psychology. It leads to tilt. To achieve a high Sharpe ratio, to make your betting look like a steady paycheck rather than a heart attack, you need diversification and high confidence signals. This is why we built Kalstrop the way we did. We don't rely on one person's opinion. We use ensemble modeling. Look at our tennis AI. It is trained on over 95,000 matches. It doesn't just look at ranking. It analyzes surface speed, fatigue, head-to-head psychology, and market volatility. By processing this massive volume of data, we achieve a ROC-AUC score of 91.5. Why does this matter? Because a model with 79.6% accuracy radically lowers your variance. It shortens your N0, it increases your Sharpe ratio, and most importantly, it gives you the true probability you need to feed into the Kelly Criterion. When our football analysis engine breaks down a match using 6-dimensional metrics, analyzing everything from tactical evolution to chemistry index, it gives you a probability output. You take that probability, you compare it to the odds, you apply the Kelly Criterion, and then you cross-reference it with our money flow hub. Our P70 threshold shows you where the heavy, sharp money is moving. When our AI model and the P70 smart money align, you have what we call signal convergence. This is no longer guessing. This is operating. You aren't fighting the house anymore. You are exploiting inefficiencies in their pricing model using superior data. We believe in transparency. That is why we show our model's performance raw and unfiltered. And that is why we want you to test this ecosystem without fear. We have created a free starter pack. We load $25 into your account so you can touch the tools, see the live odds analyzer, check the AI predictions, and feel the difference between gambling and investing. Stop being a data point in someone else's simulation. Become the operator. Go to the dashboard. Check the models. Calculate your edge. Welcome to Kalstrop.